Hey everyone, I'm Charting Man Dan with the Chart Guys. I'm back to check in on the market, at least for today, and we're going to see where money is flowing to start the year. A lot has gone on in just 3 trading days so far. Let's see where we stand. All right, so we got our weekly inevitable consolidation. We know when SPY was going up every single week for 9 weeks or whatever it was. We know weekly consolidation is coming, and now here we have it. And we're going to measure the retracement size to help us determine is this healthy or not. Simple statement for me, if weekly EMA 12 is support, there are no red flags whatsoever. But we have to keep in mind that that means we can drop an additional 2.5% and still be just fine. It's because we ran up so hard that we have so much space for the bulls to work with. The key for me in the short term into next week is going to be, do we confirm the daily downtrend as a result of the next bounce? Right now we have lost the daily uptrend, but I'm still viewing this as a sucker punch. So we've talked about sucker punches in the past. We talked about it on the hourly time frame. And back on Wednesday, December 20th, we dropped. Straight drop on the hourly. We did not confirm the downtrend. That marks the longer term higher low into continuation. So the NASDAQ is leading the way down to start the year. And that money is going elsewhere. We'll talk about where it is going here in just a moment. But same question. I'm viewing this as a sucker punch. This is the bears running away with some momentum. When we finally hit a bottom, do we confirm the daily downtrend? The simple statement is, if we don't confirm a daily downtrend, it's extremely healthy weekly consolidation. If we do, that's a big check mark for the bears in the short term. Still going to be looking for weekly higher lows in many places, but that will at least show bear follow through after the initial sucker punch. So it's just a sucker punch on a longer term time frame. Wednesday was the hourly, and to start this year, it's on the daily. And we had a solid bounce this morning, and we gave it all back. The bears showing us they're still in control. You can see we're struggling at the hourly EMA 12, all drop. Rejecting there, rejecting yesterday, rejecting a bunch today. Have to confirm an hourly uptrend if anything's going to shift, and then we scout a daily lower high to be the most likely result of this bounce because there's a lot of space for it to form. So again, it's just going to be, can we confirm that daily downtrend as a result of the next bounce? So where is the money going? It's leaving the Magnificent Seven. We saw this a bit to end last year. Leaving the Magnificent Seven, which is dragging down the NASDAQ. Semiconductors, leaving the semiconductors. We know the Magnificent Seven. We know the NASDAQ semiconductors. They're in this grouping. Who's in the other grouping? IWM, growth names, XLF, XLV. That's what we're watching elsewhere. And we're seeing some growth sell-off, but really the money's going into healthcare this week. The financial sector today, we gave some of it back, but we'll look in just a moment. And the biotech sector, so it is going elsewhere. We're not seeing all major sectors dropping together with money leaving the market. So SMH, same deal. Big drop. Weekly is looking for a higher low, anything above 155.62. Can the bears confirm the daily downtrend as the result of the next bounce? And that's that. NVDA. Bears rejecting the price yet again from 500. Break of 480. Showed weakness, but look at this beautiful tightening weekly range. We could easily tighten up for another 3 weeks. Let's say we pull back, but we hold 450 and set a higher low. We can tighten up into February. And then again, watch for volatility because NVDA is going to see volatility pick up a lot when this weekly tightening range breaks. ARM had a big pullback the last couple of days. Bit of a bounce here, but just looking for a daily lower high to be the result of that bounce. I had a runner swing position that I stopped out on yesterday, but the flush first thing, I was all over that. We got real extreme. I went pretty aggressive buying. I think I ended up with 3 positions, 2 of them in the 65s, and then just really quickly selling in the 67s and 68s. So still actively trading this, but cautious of if the bears confirm that daily downtrend because obviously a temporary top has been hit. Financial sector. So again, XLF today hit the highest level that we've seen in however long, 52-week highs. So we're not seeing weakness here. Granted, there's an upper wick, but bears must break 37.38. We have a new benchmark level. Simple statement, if 37.38 is support, the bulls have absolute complete control. If we lose that level, things shift. We have not even touched daily EMA 12 support in months. So the financial sector helped hold up the market a bit today, and the healthcare sector. Remember this long-term pattern we've been watching all last year? The 2-month equilibrium that's been tightening up for years. It broke bull and hit all-time highs adjusted for the dividend. I'm looking back to 2015 and 2016, and it was similar here. And so my question is healthcare going to be one of the lead bull sectors in at least the first half of 2024? So far, the first 3 days, granted, 3 days, but look at Monday, screaming bull. Bull volume, most bullish day in a couple of weeks, and again, quickly hitting all-time highs adjusted for that dividend. So knowing this is one of the more important sectors in the market, it makes the broader market bulls a little bit less concerned with the fact that the NASDAQ is selling off because there are other places that are benefiting. So we are going to look for healthcare consolidation soon. We'll look for a daily higher low, but its weekly stair step is alive and well on week 10 now. And again, blue sky breakout, tons of space for a weekly higher low, next consolidation. Again, if I'm a broader market bull, what I would want to see is the NASDAQ finding a bottom into a daily bounce when healthcare starts daily consolidation. That would be showing us rotation. Along with healthcare, got to watch the biotech sector. Look at this daily EMA 12 guide. This is why I love these EMAs. Held it, held it, held it, held it, held it, holding it. Still in play, trying to set another higher low. Simple statement, if daily EMA 12 is support, nothing changes. Bulls keep full control. When we lose it, we'll zoom out, we'll scout a weekly higher low. But look at this long-term downtrend break on XBI. That's significant. There's still a lot of price action resistance here horizontally between 90.89 and 97. And you can see that's where we're stalling out a little bit in that resistance zone. And just again, another note on volume profile. Lamont and I did that webinar a couple weeks ago, and that's on our YouTube playlist if you missed it, but I'm already utilizing that information that I learned from that talk with him. And today, just watching the NASDAQ futures, look at the 15-minute time frame. And so I was posting in the chat room at the high of the day, I'm doing my best Lamont impression. This is a resistant zone. We have a 15-minute stair step into that resistance zone. This looks like a good place for 15-minute consolidation. Now, I couldn't say we're going to reject here and head back to the low of the day, but it's a very logical place to reject using point of control and volume profile in terms of just picking out zones. So check out volume profile, just another tool in the tool belt. But biotech sector, so again, my mindset is if the healthcare sector is going to be a lead bull in the first half of 2024, then the biotech sector will continue to benefit as well. And there's some conferences coming up that we need to be aware of in this sector, so keep an eye on that. We will need a monthly trend change eventually, but again, trying to put in a longer term bottom, it's just all about these 90s. Got to get over these 90s. Maybe we need monthly consolidation first, but I know at some point in 2024, I'll be paying a lot more attention to the biotech sector. IWM, selling off as well. So again, it's showing us growth is dropping. ARKK, dropping pretty notably the last few days as well. So money leaving IWM, and on this pullback, again, tons of space for the weekly higher low, watching the retracement size, and still a ton of space to even potentially be a weekly bull flag. Now, I don't know if a weekly bull flag is the most likely scenario. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that at this point, but I know that in terms of the rules and the criteria, it's still a possibility with where we stand. So again, same thing as the NASDAQ. Next time we bounce, do the bears confirm the daily downtrend to prove to us that they are gaining control? Crypto stocks, they're just so much fun. There's so much volatility. Massive breakout on MARA, massive dump, gap down, massive bounce, 30%. And now what? Equilibrium. Unless we get, Bitcoin, 48,000 plus ETF headline, we're looking for an MARA daily lower high and then a daily higher low, tighten up into next week, and then look for a break of this tightening range. But there is so much opportunity in both directions. Again, 95% of my trades in the last 3 weeks are MARA and Riot. Had a nice 15-minute EMA 12 support guide. I actually shorted MARA a few times because we had this clear resistance zone that was working for a while. But bulls won in the end. And still going to scout that daily lower high potentially tomorrow as I scout a Bitcoin potential 12-hour lower high. Cannabis names. So they got some attention yesterday. MSOS popped and halted on a headline. The headline triggered algos with keywords because the headline was DEA is reviewing whether or not to reschedule. No new news. Anybody following this sector knows that, but we have to remind ourselves that those of us that follow this sector when it's really boring, we're very much the minority, and these headlines get attention. So you may have noticed, I certainly have on Twitter, a lot more large accounts are tweeting about MSOS the last week. The technical setup is one of the reasons, but the headline is another reason as well. And so it's just getting more attention. More people are talking about it. And MSOS, it's all about 769. If we get over that level, we regain a weekly uptrend and we'll be at the highest price that we've seen in over 3 months. So again, I've got a long-term no-touch position because I put my money where my mouth is, where I said, I think that this is the bottom when we got that volume on the HHS news. So I have to hold a position for that longer-term possibility, and otherwise I'm short-term trading in another account around that position. But if we get over 769, the monthly higher low is set. Actually, it is already set, but it's just positive. It's a weekly uptrend. We'll be in a daily uptrend and a weekly uptrend, and trying to confirm a monthly uptrend, knowing we got to break 988 for that. So again, as I keep saying, I've been going on Scott Melker's YouTube channel, and 15,000 crypto people views, and I'm talking about cannabis stocks and have a game plan for when the headline hits. And I'll be market buying these names, and there will be significant opportunities. So perhaps the market anticipating that because the DEA confirmed what we already knew, that maybe they're closer to a decision. I don't know, maybe. But technically speaking, without that headline at the moment, we're still making progress. Nice bounce, higher low, got to get over 769 for that higher high. Volume picking up a bit the last 2 days. So again, this to me is just Twitter attention. You can see it. I know a lot of you see it as well. Just accounts that have 60,000 followers, 250,000 followers, talking about cannabis stocks for the first time in at least a year over the last week or two. The dollar, trying to set a monthly higher low. Daily chart, I don't consider us in an uptrend yet. We do still need to confirm a daily uptrend. Then we zoom out and watch for a weekly lower high. But this bounce is putting some pressure back on the metals. Gold, we knew a weekly lower high was the most likely scenario. I will exit all of my metals exposure if the weekly support level from back here is lost. What the bulls want to see is a weekly higher low and a tightening range break bullish to try and head back to that all-time high. The miners are seeing some weekly consolidation. Got to hold that higher low. Silver will likely break first if anybody's going to break. We came pretty close today. That support on the weekly was 22.51, and today we got down to 22.68. So trying to hold support. But again, this is, metals, bulls, backs are against the wall, because if you confirm weekly downtrends, that is a big red flag. Energy. So gap up and massive profit taking. Remember, I'm watching energy as a bear in 2024. Is this a monthly lower high to shape up the rising wedge that I'm watching? I don't know, but I'm watching for it. I would love, I recently said, I forget where, but I would love for a monthly lower high and confirm the monthly downtrend to confirm the rising wedge. So key support, short term, 83.59. As far as oil is concerned, got to see weekly downtrend continue. If we confirm the weekly uptrend, that to me means be very patient looking short energy, because oil can easily form a monthly tightening range. If we confirm a weekly uptrend, we can tighten up for months. So I'm paying attention to oil's weekly and whether or not the bulls can confirm that uptrend for perspective on whether or not I'm going to short the energy sector. So being a bit patient, knowing it's a longer term time frame trade. and just observing the psychedelic names benefiting from the biotech sector strength. Again, look at CMPS. If we get over this downtrend resistance line, similar to the biotech sector, just longer term bottoms trying to be set. So it's the US names in cannabis that are benefiting on this recent spike the last 2 days, but just some attention building. Gotta have that headline. This attention will fade without a headline eventually. So overall, quick summary, we've got bears in full control of the NASDAQ and semiconductors and some growth. I don't know what I just said. I meant bears in full control of those things, if I didn't say that. Healthcare, financial sector, still bullish, hitting fresh highs today, 52-week highs. Biotech sector benefiting. And so the big question is, do we see that rotation again? Does the NASDAQ bounce into the financial sector and healthcare sector pulling back, or do they all pull back together? Can bears confirm a daily downtrend as the result of the next bounce from here? So I'm still around. I'll be checking in every now and again. I'll do a cannabis only video over the weekend, but mostly just hanging out in the chat room still, enjoying some freedom. It's really nice to not be scheduled to do things, and I'm working on a whole lot of different skill sets. So, appreciate you tuning in. Check out the Chart Guys community if you want to hang out. I'll get it. This is day one.